Have you ever wondered which positions actually help women reach climax? Because according to research, it's probably not what you think. And even more surprising, one of the most popular positions is actually one of the least effective when it comes to consistent results. So today, we're going to break this down step by step. What science says, what real experiences show, and how you can actually understand what works and why. Hello, I'm Dr. Ella Reed, and welcome back to Dr. Ella Reed Men's Health. On this channel, we talk about sexual health, performance, and the real science behind how the human body works. And today's topic is one that a lot of people are curious about, but often misunderstand: how different positions influence female pleasure and overall experience. Understanding the foundation. Before we even talk about positions, we need to understand something fundamental. One of the biggest misconceptions is that penetration alone leads to climax. But research has consistently shown that for most women, that's not the case. External stimulation plays a major role, especially involving highly sensitive areas. And this is where many people get it wrong. They focus only on one type of stimulation instead of understanding how different types work together. Once you understand this, everything else starts to make sense. Position 1. Modified missionary. Why it works so well. Let's start with one of the most reliable positions, a modified version of the traditional position where the woman's hips are slightly elevated. This may seem like a small adjustment, but it completely changes the mechanics. By elevating the hips, the angle shifts in a way that allows more consistent contact and better alignment. But here's what most people don't realize: it's not about speed. It's not about force. It's about control and consistency. Instead of focusing only on movement in and out, the key is maintaining steady contact and creating a rhythm that allows continuous stimulation. The role of movement. This is where technique matters more than position itself. Many people assume faster movement leads to better results. But in reality, slower, controlled movement often creates more effective stimulation. Why? Because it maintains contact instead of breaking it. And that consistency is what allows the body to build up sensation over time. Emotional connection matters more than you think now. Let's talk about something that is often ignored: emotional connection. In this position, being face-to-face creates eye contact, physical closeness, a sense of presence, and this has a real physiological effect. When someone feels comfortable and connected, their body relaxes. When the body is relaxed, it responds better. So this isn't just psychological, it directly impacts physical experience. Position 2, woman on top. Control changes everything. Now, let's move to the second position that consistently shows strong results. When the woman is on top, especially leaning slightly forward, this position is powerful because it shifts control. She can control the angle, the speed, the rhythm, the pressure. And this matters because every body is different. There is no single movement that works for everyone, so the ability to adjust in real time makes a huge difference. Why control leads to better results. From a scientific perspective, control allows for optimization. Instead of guessing what works, the body naturally finds the most effective pattern. This reduces frustration and increases efficiency. And that's why this position often leads to more consistent results. The importance of feedback. Another important factor here is feedback. The body constantly gives signals about what feels right and what doesn't. When there's room to adjust, those signals can actually be used. But when movement is fixed or repetitive, those signals are often ignored. So flexibility and responsiveness are key. Why variety still matters. Now, here's something really important. Even though certain positions are more effective, variety still plays a major role. Why? Because the brain responds to novelty. When something is new or slightly different, it creates excitement. That excitement increases engagement, which enhances the overall experience. The psychology of intimacy. This is where psychology becomes just as important as physiology. Things like anticipation, confidence, spontaneity. all influence how the experience feels. So even if a position is not the most effective mechanically, it may still add value emotionally or psychologically. The science of blood flow. Now, let's talk about something that is often completely overlooked: blood flow. Arousal depends heavily on circulation. When blood flow increases, tissues become more sensitive and responsive. This leads to stronger sensations and better overall experience. What affects blood flow? Several factors can reduce proper circulation: stress, poor sleep, lack of physical activity, poor diet. And these don't just affect general health, they directly affect performance. So if something feels off, it's not always about technique. Sometimes it's about overall health. The surprising truth about a popular position. Now let's talk about something that surprises most people. One of the most popular positions is actually one of the least effective for consistent climax. And the reason comes down to two main things: reduced external stimulation, less face-to-face connection. Without these elements, it becomes harder to create the conditions needed for consistent results. But here's the key. Insight. This does not mean the position is bad. It simply means it serves a different purpose. Some positions are better for intensity, excitement, passion. Others are better for consistency, control, predictability, thinking in terms of purpose. This is where most people make a mistake. They judge positions as good or bad. But that's not the right way to think about it. Instead, ask, what does this position offer? What role does it play in the overall experience? A smarter approach. A more effective approach is to combine different elements. Start with positions that create excitement and energy. Then transition into positions that provide more consistency and control. This creates a more balanced and satisfying experience overall. The biggest takeaway. So, what's the most important thing to understand from all of this? There is no single perfect position. What matters most is understanding how the body works, paying attention to feedback, maintaining communication, focusing on the overall experience. Final thoughts: every person is different. Every experience is different, and what works best will always depend on the individual. So instead of focusing on one specific outcome, focus on understanding, connection, and awareness, because that's what truly makes the difference. Outro. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to Dr. Ella Reed Men's Health for more science-based content on health, performance, and well-being. And as always, take care of your health, because it truly matters. I'll see you in the next video.